Rosie kept on going no matter what. She was red in the face and her wheels occasionally slipped. Her trucks then spoke up.
Come on, Rosie, keep going. You'll be at the works before you know it.
Show Spencer that you can beat him.
You are very encouraging. Why are you, though? Not that I mind the encouragement.
I know, right? Troublesome trucks being nice. What's next? Troublesome coaches? But seriously, what are nicer and more experienced trucks?
Combine them with Bradford's rules, and there will be trouble for Spencer, especially with his snootiness.
Further up the main line, Spencer was nearing Wellsworth. He knew he couldn't make it up Gordon's Hill without a banker.
Botheration! I know something terrible is coming up very soon. That infamous hill.
Well then, we'll need a banker once we reach Wellsworth.
Come on, Bradford. Let's try getting up the hill without one. Let's give it a go. If I do need one, then I'll come back to the station and ask Edward.
If you'll say so.
Spencer and his train rushed through Wellsworth. Edward noticed them go by.
Need some help going up, Spencer? I'm here if you need a helping wheel.
No thanks, Old Iron. I think I can make it to the top of this hill.
Okay, if you say so. I'll be helping engines one nice to me.
Silly little Edward. I'm a fast engine. I don't need help getting up the hill.
If we get stuck, I'm blaming you for not considering taking Edward's help.
Don't worry, Bradford. We'll make it to the top.
Meanwhile, Rosie soon arrived at Wellsworth. Her face was red. The driver gave her a drink of water.
Hello, Edward. I guess Spencer flew by here?
He did and raced past me. I heard about the race. I remember my big race against him. He'll never learn his lesson.
I guess he didn't need a back engine to take his train up Gordon's Hill?
Yes, and called me Old Iron, saying he didn't need help. Would you like some help getting up the hill?
Sure, sounds like a plan. It wouldn't hurt getting extra pushing power.
Wonderful. Let me get turned around on the turntable.
Meanwhile, as Spencer finally reached Gordon's Hill, his truck started misbehaving.
I thought you guys were not going to play tricks. Bradford, can't you do something about them?
I'll try my best. Listen up, you bunch. We have an important train to deliver, so no delays.
Be quiet, you bunch. It isn't my fault you put on your brakes.
As Spencer was trying to figure out what to do, he heard a whistle, and a streak of pink flew past.
Hello, Spencer. I bet you're wondering how I caught up so fast.
Yes, I am. How did you do it?
I took the loop line, went around Crosby near the coaling plant, and luckily, someone helpful offered to give me a push up the hill.
Who offered to help a silly engine like you?
Good day, Spencer. Lovely view, isn't it?
Edward, why are you helping her?
Because, Spencer, unlike you, Rosie is kind and friendly to me. I remember earlier you were rude to me and didn't need any help. You said you could make it up the hill without a banker.
Well, I do need help. These trucks are a pain in my tender.
Sorry, Spencer. I would like to help, but unfortunately I can't. After I help Rosie, I have an important train to take in 15 minutes.
But please help me, Edward.
If I see another engine at the top, I'll ask them if they can help you.
Edward continued to help Rosie. Meanwhile, Spencer kept struggling to get up to speed while climbing the hill. Suddenly, he heard a familiar whistle, and one he had never heard before.
Hello, Spencer. I've found someone to help you. Murdoch is offering to help get you up the hill. I'll see you two later. I've got to collect some freight from Brendan.
Don't you worry, Spencer. Edward told me about your race with Rosie, and you're making quite the racket while struggling up this very difficult hill.
I can make it up just fine with my coach. However, these trucks are holding me back, and my brake van isn't being a big help.
I heard that, Spencer. Maybe I don't feel like helping you. If you keep up that attitude and not be kind to everyone...
Please help me. You must be a strong and powerful engine. The Duke and Duchess are in a hurry.
Care for some more tea, dear?
Of course. Did you hear about Beru's recent football game?
It doesn't seem like they're in a hurry to me.
Can you help me anyway? I want to get these trucks to Crowens Gate as soon as I can.
Okay, Spencer. Let me get switched to your line and my driver will notify the signalman. Then I'll go tender first to the back of your train and push you up to the top.
Rosie was making good progress. She finally went down Gordon's Hill and headed towards Marin. More of her friends were there to cheer her on.
You go, Rosie. Show Spencer that United States engines are faster than any snooty silver speedy engine.
Oh, Be careful, Rosie. You're doing well.
I'm happy that Rosie is in the lead. I wonder where Spencer is.
He's probably a few miles back and hasn't even gotten to Gordon's Hill.
After their drivers had called the signalman, Murdoch finally switched to Spencer's line and was buffered up to Bradford.
Apologies, Bradford. I have to get Mr. Speedy up the hill so I can be rid of all this noise.
It's alright, Murdoch. I agree with you. Spencer is making up a fuss about getting up the hill.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Let's just get to the top of the hill, and you, Murdoch, can get some peace and quiet.
The two engines went back down the hill with the heavy train so they could get a good run up. Murdoch began pushing, while Spencer slowly started to pull. With the help of Murdoch, Spencer finally managed to get his train up to the top of the hill.
Look, dear, we're finally moving.
Thank goodness. I was worried we had to walk to the next station.
Finally, I can catch that silly tank engine and beat her to Crovan's Gate. It's time I took some shortcuts and got up to speed.
Rosie decided to take a little break at one of the marked stops of the race so she could refuel.
I can't believe how much progress I've made so far. I wonder if Spencer managed to get up Gordon's Hill.
Well, I heard on the walkie-talkie from Spencer's driver they hit a slight snag. Luckily, Murdoch offered to push him up the hill.
That's good. I'm at least 10 miles past Marin. Maybe he'll be there soon.
Probably. He is a very fast engine. So maybe he'll be here in a few minutes.
Do you think we should keep going on?
Probably. I mean, we made good timing. Let's keep up the pace. Kildane is 6 miles down the line. Maybe between here and there, Spencer will pass us to make up for the delay.
Rosie's crew finished up filling her bunker with coal and her tanks with water, and soon they got up to speed and kept on puffing. Just then, Spencer finally reached Marin.
I'm most likely gonna take a shortcut to beat her to the workstation.
If you do, make sure if we come up to any crossover track, pay attention to your surroundings.
Yes, I'll make sure. This brake van is a pain in my tender. I need to figure out some way to get rid of him.
Spencer soon headed down to Ulfstead Junction.
We're nearing Hero's hideout. We should be going under Neville's bridge.
You're right. Wait a minute. I hear a fast engine puffing.
So do I. Do you think it's Spencer?
Most likely. He's probably taking a shortcut just to get ahead of us.
I'm not going to lose this race to him.
Sir Stephen did say we only have to get our goods train to the works. It shouldn't matter if we beat Spencer there.
I know. However, we don't know if he has any tricks planned.
Possibly. I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Meanwhile, Spencer was hatching a plan to take care of Bradford once and for all.
Oh, yes, what a clever idea. Luckily, we're coming back to the main line. You silly trucks, don't try bumping me.
Oh, so Mr. Silver wants us not to bump him. I can get with that idea. Oh, don't be a silly Wally. We're bumping Spencer, and I bet he wants us to hold back, too. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
That's right. Don't you dare hold me back, especially with a strong brakeman like Bradford behind me.
Oi, what's going on up there? Cut it out.
Oh, Bradford, these trucks are being tricky. They're holding me back.
Hold back! Show Spencer he should give us respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Oh yes, keep our brakes on.
We're coming back to the main line. Psst, okay, you trucks. We're going to get rid of Bradford once and for all.
Okay. Come on, Willis. We can let our brakes off.
Sure thing, Rickety. My brakes hurt sore. Ouch.
Bradford didn't know the trucks had released their brakes, and with him keeping his on, the chain was growing weak. The coupling between Bradford and the trucks was straining. Spencer gave one final pull, and the coupling finally snapped.
Oi, Spencer, the coupling just snapped. Don't you hear me?
Spencer pretended not to hear him, and he had soon left behind his brake van. Bradford decided to get someone's attention, so slipped off his brakes to roll down to the main line. However, he didn't realise how close to the main line he actually was.
We must have been a couple of feet to the main line. Luckily, the guard stopped us in time before I kept on rolling.
Bradford heard a familiar whistle. Rosie pulled alongside the green brake van.
Bradford, what happened? Why are you stranded on the main line? Where's Spencer?
I'm asking myself that question. Everything was fine until suddenly Mr. Silver decided he didn't need me anymore, so he tricked me thinking the trucks were causing trouble.
That's awful and terrible of Spencer.
Soon I decided to stick on my brakes. However, that was Spencer's plan the whole time. As soon as he got the chance, he yanked the coupling between me and the trucks.
Luckily, you were able to stop in time before accidentally derailing.
As Bradford and Rosie were chatting, there was a sound in the distance that made Bradford shudder.
Rosie, what line did I stop on?
Oh no! You're on the express line, and Rebecca's coming down the line line. She's heading this way.
Quick, let's think of something before I get hit.
Rosie soon got an idea. She was immediately uncoupled from her train, and her fireman jumped down and switched the points. Rosie was switched onto Bradford's track, and she began to push him as quick as she could. She pushed him back off the main line just in time, as Rebecca came inches from her buffers.
Oh, look out! Phew! Thanks for clearing the line, Rosie. Bradford, what are you doing on the main line?
It's a long story. I better catch up to a certain silver engine and tell him what for.
Rosie, I heard about the race you and Spencer are having.
You are correct, Rebecca. Shall I take you to the station, Bradford?
Yes, please, Rosie. That'll be helpful.
Sorry about that, Rebecca. We'll see you at the station.
No worries. No one got hurt. That's all that matters. I'm sure Sir Stephen is at the station, waiting for you and Spencer to deliver the trucks.
Earlier, I did notice Harold flying very fast in the sky. He's probably carrying the Fat Controller to the workstation to see if we delivered the goods.
Shall we go? I want to give Spencer some common knowledge.
Right. Sorry, Bradford. I'll see you in a few moments, Rebecca.
Rebecca continued on towards the station. Meanwhile, Rosie coupled up to Bradford, and soon they headed down the line after her. At Croven's gate, Spencer arrived at the station.
Excellent timing, Spencer.
I know. Thank you, sir. I always make excellent timing when going down the line.
Now, please allow the worker to double-check your train and count everything.
Spencer knew they'd realised Bradford wasn't at the end of his train, so he decided to pretend everything was okay.
Oh no! I didn't realise I lost my brake van. I just remembered my trucks were holding me back. I told them to stop playing tricks. I guess Bradford was holding them in place, and I accidentally broke the coupling, leaving Bradford behind.
Excuse me, sir.
Rebecca, what happened? You're a couple minutes late.
Sorry about that. There was an obstruction on the line. I had to wait for it to be moved in order for me to continue on to my destination.
What was the obstruction that caused you to be late?
It was Bradford stranded on my line.
Oh, Rebecca, stop joking. No way my brake van ended up on your line.
Okay, if you don't believe me, Spencer. All right, Rosie, bring in Bradford to prove Spencer wrong.
Bradford! Why does Rosie have you coupled behind her?
Ask Mr. Silver there. He's the one who left me behind.
Sir, Spencer thought it would be a good idea to abandon Bradford before arriving at his destination.
Spencer, explain yourself. Why did you do it?
All right, I admit I abandoned Bradford on purpose. It's either follow these rules, watch out for any engine near the crossing. I couldn't handle it.
Spencer, I'm very disappointed in you. You had to keep Bradford part of your train before reaching Croven's gate. Your brake van was keeping you in line.
Well, maybe having a talking drill sergeant barking orders at me was getting a bit annoying.
You should follow the rules, Spencer. So, Sir Stephen, what shall we do with him?
I think Spencer should learn how to handle trucks. And I'm sure Samson wouldn't mind letting Spencer keep Bradford a bit longer.
An excellent idea, Sir Stephen. Maybe Bradford will teach Spencer a thing or two.
But sir, who will pull my coaches and take you and the Duchess around the railway?
I'm sure we'll find a temporary engine until your punishment is over.
I did notice Gordon had worked hard the past few days. Maybe if you're interested, could he take you and the Duchess?
A wonderful suggestion. You don't mind us borrowing Gordon for a while?
Gordon needs a break from pulling the express. He'll enjoy taking some important people around the railway. I'm sure Rebecca and the others could handle the express while he's away.
Sir, you're kidding. Giving my coaches to a blue whale?
Tut tut, Spencer. No arguing. You listen to the Duke of Boxford. Now, if you don't mind, we'll have to tell Samson about me staying with you longer.
I guess we're without a ride.
Excuse me, Duke and Duchess. If it's all right, I wouldn't mind taking you to Vickerstown.
What do you think of that idea, my dear?
I always wanted to experience riding with the SR West Country class.
Thank you for offering to help, Rebecca.
As soon as the guard blew his whistle, Rebecca left. Sir Stephen walked towards Rosie.
Rosie, I'm proud of you. You were able to get your goods train to the destination without any trouble. And you did a daring rescue to save Bradford before he got damaged. I think you deserve a reward for being so brave and very useful.
Really? Thank you, sir. What's my reward?
I noticed that your paint is starting to fade a bit. I think it's time you got a brand new coat of paint to show a sign of change from when you first arrived on Sodor.
How very nice of you, sir. Thank you. I bet I'll be repainted pink again.
Wait and see. It'll be a surprise for you. I'll have Neville pick up your goods and coaches while you can head towards the works.
Okay, sir. I'm excited to see what color of paint will be chosen.
Rosie headed towards the works. Eventually, Neville arrived to take her train away. While she was gone, Spencer did double the work training with Bradford. A few days passed, and Sir Stephen brought as many engines that were available to Knapford Sheds to see the big reveal of Rosie's new paint.
The branch line hasn't been the same since Rosie's been away.
Don't worry, Thomas. Sir Stephen said she'll be arriving soon looking very different.
I wonder what colour she picked. Green is a good choice.
Red is the way to go. Maybe she is a shade of red.
Whatever colour she picked, she'll still be the same friend we know.
Engines! I would like to present Rosie, the red tank engine.
The engines gasped as Rosie arrived in the yard wearing a cherry red coat of paint. The letters NWR were written on her side, and the number 37 was near her cab.
Rosie, it's good to see you again. You look amazing in that red livery.
Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate it.
I knew you might have been painted red, but I wouldn't have guessed that you were a cherry red.
Yeah. Sir Stephen told me before I got repainted that it was going to be a surprise.
The red definitely suits you, Rosie.
Thanks, Edward. I'm happy to officially have part of the Northwestern Railway.
So, Rosie, did you hear anything about Spencer after his incident?
Oh, yes. While I was in the works, I heard Mr. Silver outside complaining to the narrow gauge engines.
That's our Spencer, always looking for a way to complain about anything.
I definitely have to tell you what happened and what I heard.
The engines listened closely as Rosie told them the events of Spencer's punishment.